back to the topic of Hurricane Erin as it makes its way up the Atlantic with increasing concerns about the potential effects on the Jersey shoreline. While the exact path remains uncertain, as Mike was saying, we have coastal communities like Asbury Park already preparing for possible flooding and damage and storm surge. And joining us now is Garrett Giberson, who is the coordinator of Office of Emergency Management for Asbury Park. And Garrett will walk us through what residents need to know and how the city is preparing to keep people safe. Good morning to you, Garrett.
Good morning, Ken. Glad to be here.
Good to have you on. Yeah, nice to
Thank
have
you.
you here. And I know you're a busy man there today, so I won't hold you too long. What's the
Thank you.
latest that we know on Hurricane Erin and the kind of impact that Asbury Park is preparing for?
Well, I just received my briefing package from the National Weather Service and Monmouth County Office of Emergency Management. And basically, what they're saying is that we're going to have high seas, we're going to have rip currents, we're going to get those gale winds. And the bottom line is stay out of the water. Um, we're lucky to have the overcast and potential for some rain today, which will keep beachgoers away from our shore, and as well as tomorrow, and hopefully by the weekend things will lay down a bit. But the lifeguards are on duty regardless, and the message that the city of Asbury Park is giving to people is we are not allowing swimming at this time, and until the water is safe and deemed safe for those to enter into the water.
And has there been a specific timeline given to you by the National Weather Service in terms of when residents could begin to see the real effects, or are you starting to get it right now?
They're talking about tonight, tomorrow, into Friday. So hopefully by Saturday, Sunday, things will start to lay down and be a bit calmer. We have also taken some precautions with our lakes because we have two lakes that discharge out into the ocean. And those outfall pipes sometimes will take on that onshore flow or that surge that comes in, and they will come into our lakes as well. So we have taken the necessary action to lower some of the water out of those lakes.
Garrett, what preparations are currently underway, if any, in Asbury Park? Are there any kind of evacuations, emergency declarations? Because there's always the fear of storm surge as well for something like this.
Sure. At this point, there are no declarations, there are no evacuations. Um, there are certain areas that are prone to flooding, especially if we get a heavy amount of rain in a short period of time with our lakes. So people have been advised to move their cars in those flood prone areas in the event that we do get some storm surge that comes into our lake.
Yeah, I remember down in Florida where I used to live, we used to move our cars as far up to the house as possible because the houses were built up on sort of mounds. I know you know South Florida. And so we would move up toward the garage where you have the highest point to just stay out of the streets because a lot of the streets down there get 2 feet of standing water for something like this, and you don't want your car stuck in that. Are any shelters or emergency services being prepped just in case there's a power outage or anybody gets displaced because of the water?
We do have a plan in place that in the event that we do receive any power outages or flooding issues, that we will work with our county partners and our state partners to affect that.
Yeah, and that's something that you have to. I guess it's a wait and see, right? You'll spend the next 12 to 24 hours making determinations uh, on that because you don't want to. I guess it's always that delicate balance. You don't want to panic people if there's no reason to, because then when the real emergency comes, they won't listen. Do I have that right?
Correct. Correct. We
Yeah.
like to err on the side of caution, but at the same time, not panic everyone because, like you said, when the time comes of the real incident and the emergency, people don't pay attention to it. So, we try to advise them as best as we can during the situation and keep people informed. That's the bottom line. And what people
And
need
at
to
the same
realize is that they need to listen to what the public officials are telling them, to the watches and the warnings and the advisories.
Right. So at the same time, we also don't want residents to think, oh, this is nothing. It's out to sea. We have nothing to worry about because while we're not going to get hit by a hurricane head on at all, even the outer bands are probably not going to hit us. At the same time, as meteorologist Mike Favetta has been talking about, the storm surges, the swells, this is a huge storm. We are blessed that it's hundreds of miles out to sea. But a huge storm like that, literally, it's like imagine a giant weight clopping into the water and it's spreading that water out. And that's going to cause massive waves, 8 to 12 foot waves. Pretty big for New Jersey. So that's definitely a significant thing.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And even the most experienced swimmers, surfers, they stay out of the water when it's like this, because you're just putting your first responders also in jeopardy if they have to go out and get you. So heed the
100%.
warnings, listen to the advisories, stay out of the water. Red flags are up in Asbury Park. There is no swimming in Asbury Park. So respect that.
Yeah, and as Mike was saying, our meteorologist, we are very blessed, and you mentioned it as well, that today and tomorrow are not beach days. They're really ugly, cloudy, windy, and a little chilly, and it's not nice to go to the beach. The only people I think who might consider it are surfers,
Right.
but please don't do that because if something happens to you, you don't want to put our first responders, as Garrett is talking about here, you don't want to put our first responders at risk. What's a website, Garrett, for residents to find alerts and guidance from the city of Asbury Park?
They can go to the cityofasburypark.com. We will post different alerts, advisories, and warnings on that website. And also, if they have questions about swimming, they can call the beach department, which number is located under the departments there on the website.
And I'm sure the people at the Stone Pony have the sandbags ready to go just in case. Right? To keep
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely. We're,
What a
we're
great
always on the
community.
ready.
Amen. Asbury Park is just a gem. You are just an absolute diamond on our coastline, and the it's always funny when you're coming down the Garden State Parkway when you see the Asbury Park exit. You know you've officially made it to the shore. So
Oh,
that's a
absolutely.
good thing. Always makes
Yes.
you smile when you see that, and you make us smile. Thank you so much, Garrett Giberson, coordinator for the Office of Emergency Management in Asbury Park. Good to have you taking care of that and the good folks there. And thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks for having me. Be happy and stay
You bet.
healthy.
You as well, my friend.